Okay, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat and welcome to another edition of Healthy Davao Media Forum, special episode of Kapehan sa Davao, held here at the second floor of SMCT Annex. We'd like to thank again SMCT Davao for hosting our Healthy Davao Media Forum. Healthy Davao Media Forum is a special episode every last Monday of the month. That will be discussing my health-related topics, issues, and concerns. Our topic for this Monday's Health Davao is Safe Motherhood. We are joined, habol na po sila, by Dr. Mary Lili of Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at Southern Philippine Medical Center. She's joined by Dr. Naomi Modiag, again, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, STMC, and our friends from PhilHealth. We are joined by Rhea Gail D. Guevara, the PR Officer, Public Affairs Unit of PhilHealth 11, and Dr. Janelli Christine Remocaldo, Medical Specialist, PhilHealth 11. Actually, may two batches tayo ng guests. The first part is Healthy Davao Media Forum, yung topic natin, safe motherhood and PhilHealth benefits for mothers. Then the second part will be Giving Economy Forum and World Travel Expo. These are events that will be held here in the city. We are joined by Sir Eric Manalastas is from ICT Davao, but he will be representing Crowdera Philippines organizing the Giving Economy Forum here in Davao. Then, to talk about the incoming World Travel Expo, we have Miles Caballero, Managing Director. So, ito sila sa part 2 ng ating this morning's Kapehan sa Davao and Healthy Davao Media Forum. To start Healthy Davao Media Forum, we would like to get the opening statement. We'll start with you, Kuya.
Mayong buntag sa Pinan, of course, mayong buntag sa po ang mga kauban sa media, and we'd like to thank you for this opportunity, especially our partner, Philippine Information Agency, and hopefully, this topic on safe motherhood awareness and other updates from PhilHealth will bring relevant information to all of our audience. Unta daghang ma-share sa inyong information that will really help our mothers access ilahang mga benepisyo sa PhilHealth o uban pa. So thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our partners in the media. Good morning to all our members, mga listeners nato, mga viewers. As what Ms. Clea said, I hope we can provide you with relevant information to at least ease the burden of giving birth, at least the financial burdens of giving birth, not just for the mother and for the babies as well.
Okay. So ano po yung ating mga benefits that the PhilHealth will be giving to yung mga expectant mothers, and also ano yung ano yung coverage na because yung pregnancy naman din sa mga related na health issues and concerns, ano yung covered under, may bago na tayong coverage or benefits under sa PhilHealth.
So we have several coverage for our expectant mothers. No? Number one, of course, is our maternity care package, which is now at 11,000 pesos for mga lying in. And we also have, that's 12,675 pesos for the facilities or level facilities. If sa lying-in ka po ng anak, that's 15,600 pesos. This package includes antenatal care and prenatal care. So covered niya na yung prenatal check-ups as well as yung panganganak. If for example, meron din tayong yung mga, ang coverage niya lang is yung pagpapanganak, which is your normal spontaneous delivery package. That's 9,750 pesos pag sa ospital ka ng anak. Or 12,675 pesos pag sa lying-in ka po ng anak. This doesn't include pa our coverage for cesarean deliveries and other complications, medical complications that was brought about by the pregnancy or yung pagpapanganak po. For our newborn care package naman, we have our new package that is now 5,752 pesos and 50 cents. This covers yung mga normal babies or yung healthy babies natin. If there are complications sa pagpapanganak, iba din po yung coverage po.
In addition na lang din po, sa sinabi na banggit kanina ni Doc Jen, the package rate for the cesarean delivery is now at 37,050 pesos. So all of these packages have been recently increased. In fact, starting this year, January 2025, ipatasan natin by 50%. Scenario, an example of this is cesarean data is only 19,000 pesos ang gina-cover sa PhilHealth, but right now, it has been increased to 37,050. So, inalakad ako ang pagtaas sa ang benefit package, and that's why we encourage really all our expectant mothers to avail themselves of the packages that we mentioned.
Okay, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our guests from the Southern Philippine Medical Center, Dr. Mary Lilin and Dr. Naomi Mondia. Opening statement po, ano masasabi natin sa ating mga guests? Opening statement.
Hello everyone, good morning. I am Dr. Mary Lilin from SPMC.
Wala sa volume lang. Okay. Ayan na.
Hello.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Naomi Mondia. I'm a consultant staff under the Southern Philippines Medical Center, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Maternal Fetal Medicine, along with my senior consultant, Dr. Mary Lilin.
Okay, for our doctors from SPMC, because yung topic natin is safe motherhood, ano po yung mga prevailing na mga health-related issues regarding safe motherhood sa ating SPMC? Ano mga cases na handle natin?
For cases that we encounter, number one po sa list namin is preeclampsia, hypertension. Yun po yung pinaka-common. Those are our patients na number one sa list na mortality. And then next is postpartum hemorrhage. Yun po yung dalawang very common causes of mortality.
How many, kasi marami, SPMC, maraming mothers na panganak. Do you have, ma-handle ba ng yung inyong department, yung ganong karami na mga tao sa hospital?
Yes, sir. Fortunately, we have increasing number of resident doctors or resident physicians as well as consultants under the obstetrics and gynecology to handle cases, increasing cases also of pregnant women who wanted to be under our service. So the demand may be increasing, but we always try our best to cater them all and receive them all. Since the Southern Philippines Medical Center is the only institute that may handle cases, especially in high-risk cases, as a referral from other regions also in Mindanao.
Thank you. I would like to open the floor to questions from our personal media. Ma'am.
Hello ma'am, good morning po. Siguro po sa taga-SPMC, ma'am, maybe you can also present us the data. Kumusta yung number of patients catered na to, and follow up lang also with Sir Rudolph's question, if since it's increasing, do we have enough workforces to cater also?
For our 2024 census, Our annual delivery for 2024, we had a delivery of 13,449. So our census is increasing. SPMC, the administration is very supportive. They hire more nurses, and then remember SPMC, OBGYN, we are the only obstetric institute for the whole Philippines. So kami lang yung may ganong setup. So we have the whole building catering to women of Davao and other parts of Mindanao. So we do not refuse patients. We accept all patients, even po puno na. So the hospital is increasing also the number of nurses and other medical staff na hinahire po.
And so far, ma'am, with kumusta yung hiring basis natin? Kumusta yung turnout? Because of course, there's also an exodus of nurses abroad, no? Kasi in the past also, we've reported na maraming resignation ng mga nurses and SPMC. So, how is it right now, ma'am?
Sorry, we are not really familiar with how they
with the turnout lang, ma'am. With the turnout of application.
Increasing po yung nurses na resigning, but open po parate yung the hiring from the HR. Recently, I think like a week ago, they just have an orientation to the incoming na staff for the hospital. So just last week.
Ma'am, with the patients catered natin, ma'am, since we are the only one in the Philippines and probably we are also catering yung mga referrals from other regions, yung majority of patients natin, ma'am, came from what region po?
Okay. Yeah. When we have our endorsement every day, we review the cases who are referred to us. So parang may naka-breakdown lang. In general, most of our admissions came from the city. But we receive also referral from Davao del Sur and Caraga region.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Sa PhilHealth po. Ma'am, since tag-ulan, kumusta po yung mga services natin into mosquito-related diseases? Meron bang mga special offers ang PhilHealth for that?
No, tag-ulan na ngayon, so marami na naman tayong mga sakit. Number one dyan is our dengue. We have, as Clea mentioned earlier, we have increased our coverage for dengue and all other diseases by 50% this year, starting January 1, 2025. On top of that, we also rationalized our case rate for severe dengue, which means mas mataas pa po by 50% ang coverage natin sa severe dengue. And of course, we also need to focus on preventive measures. Our partners in health, our facilities are very strong in giving mga pahinumdum o mga health teachings sa ato ang community. We'd also like to take this opportunity to share our consulta package, our outpatient primary care benefit package, para kung napay gamay nabatian ang mga miyembro nato, makaato na dayon sila sa ilang consulta package provider. There are currently 134 accredited consulta package providers in the region. And if I may also add, na-mention ni Doc Lika ganina, we are very grateful that SPMC is the only and the obstetric complex in the Philippines, institute in the Philippines. We also have 143 accredited lying-ins in the region to help ease the burden of SPMC so they can focus on high-risk pregnancies. For those na may low-risk pregnancies lang, there are maternity care clinics in the region na pwede nilang puntahan. And since we're talking about safe pregnancies and safe motherhood, we would also like to emphasize the importance of early check-up. As soon as makabalo ka, nabuntis ka, or there are signs lang, dili pa ka sigurado na buntis ka, dapat mo adto na gidayon ka sa imuhang doktor so that mas matutukan imuhang pregnancy, no? Kasi sometimes low risk lang unta ka, maging high risk siya kasi walang monitoring, walang prenatal. We have maternity care clinics for that. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, sa ibang usapin naman po but related to PhilHealth, kumusta yung ating membership with the PhilHealth? Of course, with the current issues confronting funds na sinasabing lugi or wala nang fund yung PhilHealth, kumusta yung turnout ng members natin?
With our PhilHealth naman, ever since we have implemented the Universal Healthcare Law, all Filipinos are already eligible to avail of the benefits. In fact, we have what we call immediate eligibility. So, maskin pang dili pa ka miyembro, and then you are confined or admitted, then you are already automatically eligible to avail of the benefits of PhilHealth. Now, the objective pa rin po is 100% coverage. So, we strive to register all Filipinos in the database, even if sinasabi po natin immediate eligibility. So, meron pa rin po tayo mga registration process. Now, as of February 2025, we are at around 85% registration rate here in Davao Region. That is the number of registered beneficiaries, including members and dependents, versus the projected population. But at the end of the year, now we are really looking forward to increasing that data or the percentage. Of course, it all boils down to the fact po, no, na at the end of the day, whether or not you have been registered sa PhilHealth, kung kinahanglan ninyo mo avail of benepisyo and you are already admitted in the hospital, you are entitled to the benefits by virtue of immediate eligibility.
Ma'am, last two. Okay lang, last two. Ma'am, kung dito sa Davao we have the 85%, how do we able to like reach out GIDA areas and other provinces in the region na medyo may kahirapan dun sa pag-access, dun sa, for example, yung pag-apply and yung other steps?
The data that I provided is for the entire region na po siya, no? That's Davao region. But pagdating naman po sa ating mga efforts and initiatives to really reach out to our members, we do not stop at our offices alone. So we have activities at the grassroots level. Meron po kami iba't ibang klaseng activities from barangayan activities, joining in Serbisyo Caravan of different LGUs. We have our Alaga Ka. It's a grassroots level activity where we go out to different barangays and cater to different sectors and different areas in the region. We also have our Consulta Caravan para lang hindi registration lang yung makukuha natin but also consulta registration, napapa-increase natin yung mga members and beneficiaries registered to the consulta package. So all those activities combined, those are the efforts that we do as part of our social marketing and communication campaign. We really go out to serve in the communities and even partner with different LGUs and government agencies.
Opo, ma'am, last question. How do we appease siguro yung ating mga members that PhilHealth is not bankrupt? Kasi when you go to social media, there are certain posts na saying na we paid a lot for our benefits but during the time na we need the PhilHealth assistance, medyo kulang yung binibigay, etc. So, how do we able to appease siguro members na losing hope or losing yung salig sa PhilHealth in general?
So of course, we understand the sentiments of our members, especially the start of this year. Now we have received some news about the PhilHealth subsidy. But even before that, we give the assurance to our members that we have enough funds to sustain our programs. Binabayaran naman po natin yung mga hospitalization ng ating miyembro at mga claims ng ating hospital. And that is our commitment in PhilHealth, that we will continue to provide the services. We will continue to do our obligation to pay for the members' benefits and to pay the claims of our hospitals. And you can actually really attest and feel that if kayo na po mismo talaga nasa hospital. because nababawas naman po talaga yung ating benepisyo sa PhilHealth. And the assurance that we would like to give to our members is that we continue to provide you with our services, even enhancing our programs and services as part of the directive of the management of PhilHealth. This year, we started with enhancement, 50% increase, almost 9,000 conditions across the board ang pinataasan po ng PhilHealth. We have released various benefit packages related to mga catastrophic illnesses like Z benefits. Pinataasan din po yan ng PhilHealth. So you can really see that the commitment is there. No? We will continue to provide the services and the benefits that are due to our members.
To our obstetricians. Ma'am, pag-ask lang ko with regards to 2025 naman good and our information about safe motherhood is nanagit sa internet lang. But I just want to ask, curious lang ko ma'am, napabagyapon tayo mga, taas pa bagyapon ng mortality it's because of kining panganak or iban pa ba nga murag wala na buhat sa to ang mga mothers, especially those katong ma'am, atong mga young mothers.
Mortality for Davao. Mortality for Davao. Kasi I just had a meeting from City Health last. I'll open my data. This one is from City Health. We just had our maternal death review. And as of January to April of 2025, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 10 mortalities na po for Davao region.
This year na naman or
From January to April 2025.
cause of death na naman?
Cause of death, I'll review. There were, I think, 2 home deliveries, which I cannot answer the cause of death. One case we discussed, mostly hemorrhage, and one case na we cannot rule out if it was a complication of preeclampsia or a uterine rupture. So most of the deaths were hemorrhage and complications of hypertension.
Sa hypertension, ma'am, mo na ang cause of death. No? So, mayroon ba na to ma'am, na tungod sa lifestyle nato mo na ano na klase ng lifestyle? Ma-attribute sa lifestyle?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that question. Hypertension in pregnancy has many factors, okay? So, including, as you have mentioned earlier, the younger the gravid mother, the greater the risk of developing hypertension in pregnancy. So that is around 15 to 19 years of age. Okay, so extremes. So at the other end, maternal age of more than 35 would also increase the risk of developing hypertension. So that's only the age. Another factors that could really lead to hypertension during pregnancy are obesity, okay, diabetes mellitus, and prior history of hypertension also.
So, may factor ang edad, ma'am? Factor ang edad?
Yes, it's a factor, yes.
So, kung magbuntis siya above 30 na, 35, high risk na siya for
Yes.
hypertension.
Since studies have shown that age 35 and above would have greater risk of developing hypertension with the age. Okay, and then since 35 years old in our country would really link to a multigravid mother, meaning madami na siyang pregnancies prior, but also increase the risk of developing hypertension.
Also with the teens food, ma'am.
Yes, since first-time pregnancy could really have a greater risk of about 40% of developing hypertension, since it is the first time that the mother is exposed to the placenta or to the inunlan. Okay? So greater, kaya nga increasing ating number ng teenage pregnancy, it is coupled always with increasing risk of developing preeclampsia also. Since this is the one of the top 3 leading causes of maternal morbidity and mortality in SPMC, so this is one way to really educate our mothers, especially the teenagers, to really have an early prenatal check-up, no? Because prevention is always better than yung nag-aapas or nag-delay intervention.
But if ever ma'am, mabuntis ng nga age na teenage and above 36, above 35, ano sa ba ang kuha na to, ma'am, tips or advice para sa aning nga mga mother-to-be para safe sila nga makadeliver sila ang anak?
We have different approaches, no? Like example, if you want to say that you want to cater teenagers, less than 18 and below, yun yung challenging na part sa kanila because sometimes they have like delayed seeking behavior. So once you get them, you're able to identify them. Like example, for the lying-ins or maternity clinic, you really have to refer the patient to an obstetrician or to a tertiary hospital that will cater the delivery. Kasi if you will just accept them for their prenatal care, they will think that they will deliver in your facility. And they are not allowed to deliver in lying-ins or any maternity clinics. That's for the teenagers, okay? So because they are also the ones na pwedeng magkaroon din ng hypertension and any complications. Because they don't know yet how to, take care of themselves. And then you have to know also the support system of the teen. You have to know saan siya tumitira, sinong kasama niya sa bahay. You have to review the diet. And then you have to ask the living condition and then the plan, no? Kung mag-aaral ka pa ba? Ganun yung approach. It's a holistic approach when you have teenagers na pregnant. And then you have to ask them, what will be your contraception after the delivery? And that contraception, you also have to get the consent from the guardian or from the parents. Now, for those who 35 years old and above, these are the women, it's their first pregnancy or it can be multiple na, meaning when you say multiple sa amin, it's like more than 4 pregnancies. So these women, they're the ones na pwedeng magkaroon ng maraming complications like hypertension, diabetes, or other diseases that they don't know about na nakikita lang po during the time that they are pregnant. So if you have cases like that and then nasa lying-in ka, maternity, you have to go to an obstetrician or a tertiary hospital also for consultation. Because prenatal care, it's not enough just to have a number of prenatal care. Kasi para lang ma-qualify natin yung clinics natin for PhilHealth reimbursement. What is important is the quality prenatal care. It's not the number. It should be the quality. Kasi nakikita ka nga, pero hindi naman na-detect na may ibang problem ka. So the quality is very important because when we review our cases, when we have our perinatology conference every month, it's not the number of the patient non-prenatal care where we have problems. It's the quality that they receive. So if you're able to identify, that's our intervention, no, to our when we discuss it with different yung tawag nito caregivers, no, like example we encountered midwives, we give lectures, we always remind them once you identify your patient is high risk na, even sa age pa lang, you have to give up the patient. Refer it to SPMC because SPMC will cater everybody naman. So, ibigay nyo na para hindi kami delayed sa management because it's very difficult to receive patient na manganganak and they're already hypertensive. Naga-seizure na sila, no? That's what we call eclampsia. And we can do, we can treat them, but the further complications, sometimes mahirap po mahirap na pong habulin.
Is it safe to advise with also, ma'am, those 35 and above na hindi na lang magbuntis?
Hindi naman, sir. Hindi naman.
Pero they are at risk. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Last na lang sa PhilHealth. Sa PhilHealth, ma'am, may Ma'am Leia. Ma'am, may I ask, ma'am, if ever, ma'am, nabalik ka ng category, ma'am, of diseases na kuan lang dapat ka ng pwede magamit si PhilHealth? Opo, category kung unsang sakit lang dapat siya pwede na magamit ang PhilHealth. And unsa ba ang mga usual balikan na to, unsa ba ang usual na mga regulations o protocol para maka-avail ta sa PhilHealth?
So, clarify ko lang po yung question, sir. When you say category na abay mga sakit na ay, kunwari, na kay dengue, pero 50 years old ka, hindi ka ma-cover ni PhilHealth. Inana ba in terms of
yes,
that?
Yes, ma'am, or other illness na hindi siya covered sa PhilHealth.
We have, as Tia mentioned, at more than 9,000 covered na mga sakit, no, and benefit packages. There are, of course, mga limitations. For example, the facility that you went to has to be a PhilHealth accredited facility aron maka-claim ka og PhilHealth. For example, on topic na lang ta, if you're a high risk imo pregnancy, katong ginaingon ni Doc na more than 35 years old or less than 19 years old ka sa imo ang pagbuntis, dili ka pwede sa lying-in. So, dili na siya covered ni PhilHealth. If you have other medical conditions such as hypertension with your pregnancy, dili ka pwede sa lying-in. So, basically, pag high-risk pregnancy siya, dili dyan siya pwede sa lying-in. And therefore, dili po siya maklaim sa lying-in. There are other diseases as well na naa siya mga qualifying or eligibility criteria, no? That is for our Z benefit packages. Opo, sa Z benefit packages naman siya. So there are specific eligibility criteria for each benefit package. All you have to do is go to our contracted facilities, one of which is SPMC. Look for their Z-Ben coordinator, and then they will assess you. No?
How about other illnesses, ma'am, like kunwari diarrhea or dehydration? Okay. Mag-qualify ba siya?
Yes, as a case rate. So, for acute gastroenteritis, diarrhea, sa protocol kasi sa CPG, admissible lang ang patient if there is moderate dehydration. So, pag mild lang kasi yung dehydration and able to intake oral fluids and food naman yung patient, pwede na siyang hindi i-admit. So, therefore, ang covered lang ni PhilHealth during admission is yung may mga diarrhea plus moderate dehydration. However, we have other benefit packages naman such as your OECD package. That is our new package, yung Outpatient Emergency Care Benefit Package. If ang stay mo is in the ER lang and less than 24 hours, so pwede kang makover. So for example, diarrhea with mild dehydration, so dili pa ka ipa-admit sa imuhang doktor, pero there was management in the ER sa isa ka level facility, covered na gihapon ka ni PhilHealth. Pwede po na if dili pa kayo lala imong diarrhea, pwede ka mo add po sa imong konsulta package provider. So we have varying options for varying cases. So,
how about asthma, ma'am, na murag dili na kaya sa mga tambal o tapos need ng emergency attention or emergency medical attention? Qualified po ba siya?
Yes po, sir. We have inpatient benefit package for asthma.
Ano lang siya, ma'am? Less than 24 hours?
Less than 24 hours, it's pwede ka makover sa OECD package in a level facility. So, level 1 to 3 facility po, sir.
Wala na siya ang murag kanang matawag ba sa category, ma'am, or ang sabi na?
Siguro, balik sa classification of benefit packages, general classification, which is na-mention na po kanina ni Doc Jan, we have the outpatient benefits. So outpatient benefits that could include the konsulta, monitoring ng consultation, primary care benefit, and then ma-avail na siya sa mga konsulta providers nato. Then we also have the OECD, bago lang niya siya, outpatient emergency care benefit package. So kaning mga cases na nasa ER, in a level facility na manage, covered na po na siya sa PhilHealth. And then, napitay ginatawag na inpatient. So inpatient benefit packages, muna pong requiring admission. So majority of our case rates are under actually the inpatient benefit package. So naa siya specific na case rate, depende kung unsa ang diagnosis or procedure na buhaton. And the general rule or requirement is at least 24 hours na admit ka for inpatient benefit. And then we also have special benefit packages like the Z benefit for catastrophic illness, kato mga cancer-related illnesses like breast cancer, prostate cancer, leukemia, among many others. Dako ni siya nga package, ma-avail na to sa mga contracted hospitals and facilities. And we also have our SDG, Sustainable Development Goal benefit packages. I believe our maternity-related benefit packages are under this classification. So katong in support sa Sustainable Development Goal to reduce or to eliminate maternal mortality rate mo nang naay maternity benefits ang PhilHealth. And then we have other, animal bite package. We also have the OHAT, outpatient HIV/AIDS treatment package, the TB, DOTS package, hemodialysis package, and so many more types of other benefit packages. So, palang isipon is that for a particular condition or illness na ano siya equivalent na package or case rate na pwede ma-avail from PhilHealth.
Last na lang ma'am, gusto lang sa murag na kuan-kuan ni OECD kay bago. Very new ni siya. Can you walk us through ma'am no sa process sa pag-availan?
So the OECD package was launched as our anniversary gift to all our members. No, it started in February 14, 2025. You can avail of this package in all our level facilities, level 1, 2, or 3 facilities. Basically, kung kailangan mo og management or care na limited lang sa ER, so dili mo kailangan i-admit, pero dili po siya ma-cover sa among other outpatient benefit packages, pwede na ka ma-cover sa OECD package. Our case rate for that is, or our payment mechanism for that is fixed fee schedule. Meaning, unlike our other benefit packages na case rate, meaning, for example, like what was mentioned kanina, pag newborn care package, that's 5,000 pesos. Ito sa OECD package, fixed fee schedule siya, meaning we assign an amount for every service. Kung, for example, CBC is 150 pesos, tapos 3 times ka na CBC in a span of 24 hours, yung sa stay mo sa ER, we will cover all katut siya tanan, no? Katutulo ka CBC package na to. There are 340 services under the OECD package. Yes, depende po.
Oh, okay, before
for Dr. Lim, you mentioned earlier, ma'am, na we have a total of, ilan ba yun? 2024 na total deliveries. And ang top complication we have for pregnancy is the hypertension. Mga ilang percent po ba nito ang have experienced this? For 2024, ilang percent ang hypertension?
Patients admitted for hypertension alone. Sorry. Okay, is it okay? So I can give you the... For 13,000. Is it not working? Um, for the total number, our total number of deliveries was the 13,000. So, for our hypertensive patients for 2024, it covers like 16.29% of the total deliveries.
You mentioned din po na cases of preeclampsia. Do we have...
That's hypertension. That's the same. Yeah.
Yung uterine, din po, ma'am, yung mga hemorrhage na mga cases, do we also have data on that one po?
Data. Sorry, we were asked to give lecture kasi. So, okay, I'll give you data for SPMC, okay? Let's have a rundown na lang if that's what you need. All right? Okay. Yeah. You need the complications of the delivery. So, balik tayo. Okay. For hypertension, that's 16.29%. Okay? And then, that's hypertension. For those pregnant patients with respiratory disorder, it's 1.8% of the total deliveries. That's around 238 cases. Okay? For patients with cardiac disorders, those mothers with cardiac diseases, total of, sorry. I didn't get the total on this, but let me see. That's, this is approximately, approximately less than 5% of patients with cardiac disorder. Those with diabetes, 469 cases, that's 3.5% of our cases. For thyroid disorder, we have 164 cases, that's 1.2% of the total admission. And for infectious diseases, those mothers with infectious diseases, 130 cases, that's 0.1% of our total deliveries. So example, if you ask what infectious diseases, like syphilis, hepatitis B infection, and those with condyloma acuminata or with genital warts. Those are examples of our infectious diseases. Now, we also have mothers with gynecologic complications, meaning they have myomas, they are pregnant with myomas, with ovarian new growth, or with Mullerian anomaly. That's 0.5% only of our admission. Okay. All right.
I have a follow-up lang po, ma'am. You mentioned earlier din po, yung may mga patients na late na inadmit sa SPMC. And parang, wait lang po, ma'am ha. Out of that number, total number in 2024 po, mga ilan po ba yung dumaan muna ng home delivery and na-continue sa SPMC because of complications? And do we discourage po ba home deliveries?
Actually, ma'am, we do not allow home deliveries anymore. That's why it's a big no-no po for the DOH and the City Health. That's why the one lang po na they were able to document was the 2 deaths na home delivery from January to April 2025.
Pwede ba? Follow up. Ma'am, with yung case po ng hypertension, with the numbers presented, ma'am, is this alarming na parang cases, ma'am, na cause ng mga patients natin? Kasi parang mentioned niyo earlier, lifestyle is one of the factor. So is this alarming, ma'am? And how pregnant women siguro can also manage this one?
Yes, it is. Since it is one of the top 3 problems that we encounter during pregnancy worldwide. Okay, so yes, this is the goal of Safe Motherhood really. We wanted to educate or provide accessibility to the patients, especially yung nasa malayo, to prevent this type of complication. So, we just have our World Preeclampsia Day this May, no, May 22. And we always share to the mothers our informations that are beneficial for them, no? Especially the younger ones, no? Kasi yun yung target natin, kasi yun yung increasing talaga, no? So, answer ko ba ang question mo, ma'am?
Follow up to that, yung sa home deliveries, aside kasi sa home deliveries, of course, meron din yung pag-maintain ng mga hilots. Is this a thing pa ngayon, lalo na sa mga GIDA areas?
No, we discourage home delivery and delivery attended by traditional birth attendant. Okay, so especially, kasi ito yung problem, kasi ang accessibility nga ng healthcare, no, that we could provide to our mothers sa malalayo talaga, no? We frequently receive patients from Malita pa, no? Bukid pa sa Malita kanina na gani. So, it's so unfortunate kung may mga cases na darating sa SPMC na ano na siya, late na ang aming intervention. So, we really need to empower, no, the mothers or the women na gusto magbuntis, so preconceptionally and prenatally, and then in between the pregnancies also. So we really need yun yung help ng health centers, no, with well-trained na barangay health workers and midwives also. So we really need to parang all their, we really need their help for this problem to be hinay-hinay na ma-resolve.
Super last, sorry, gaano pa to kalaking problem, yung hilot, or yung hindi man hilot pero hindi siya regularly nagsisik ng medical attention, then padulong siya sa SPMC, sa kanana to, ay wala di siya intervention during pregnancy.
The problem, that's a very big problem. Yeah. But ganito yon. After working with the Department of Health and the City Health, we have people assigned, even to GIDA, we have people there, and ang kailangan ng pong gawin ng mga buntis is to let the BHW, the midwives assigned sa area nila, let them know that they are pregnant. Kasi if they will keep it na hindi nila ipapaalam, there's no way of monitoring. So all they have to do is to inform the BHW, their midwives assigned to their areas, that they are pregnant. Because if they cannot go to the center, the caregivers or the health workers will go to their houses to provide them with the medications, the vitamins that they need. And then, yun yung time that the healthcare workers will teach them what to do, what to watch out for. And then, they also have the, parang service, the transportation. Each area they are provided naman. So, kung kailangan pong i-transport yung patient, andyan naman po ang mga healthcare providers ng DOH and the City Health to assist them. Ang yung challenging lang po sa healthcare providers, yung the attitude of the patients, no, na dili ko, dari lang ko manganak. Total na anak maninako last time, no? Ako na lang ang magpaanak sa ako ang self. Yung mga ganon. So, dun yung challenge talaga sa kanila. So, if we review cases, yun lang po ang problema na nakikita namin commonly, yung the culture and the attitude na kaya ko na po, dito lang ako manganganak.
Okay, wait. A few questions kay my part 2 pa tayo.
Few questions lang po regarding postpartum depression. Ganyan, for Doc Mary and Doc Now, since especially it affects well-being of the child and the mother, PPD po. Paano po ang SPMC nag-partner with institutions para ma-screen o masuportahan ng mothers natin na experiencing PPD po? Opo.
Okay. For postpartum depression, we in SPMC setup, we have our IPBM, the old mental hospital, diba? Those are the psychiatrists. So if we identify patients admitted in SPMC with having postpartum depression or postpartum psychosis, we immediately refer it to them. As long as we were able to rule out any organic cause of the psychosis or the depression. So we work with them. But if you ask us in the community, let's say postpartum na, nanganak na siya 2-3 weeks ago, and then the patient had postpartum depression, we cannot monitor them.
Ayan, ano po yung signs na families should watch out para in identifying na may postnatal depression na pala? Ayun, saan sila makasik sila ng help sa inyo po, di ba?
Signs and symptoms of postpartum depression.
Opo, na families should watch out.
Yeah,
Ganyan.
actually, it varies. The presentation varies. Hindi siya pare-pareho. Like example, I had one patient, she called me, Doc, I am thinking of harming myself. And hindi alam ng husband. Hindi na-notice ng husband nun. She was the one who approached me. I am thinking of harming myself and the baby. That's alarming already. So you have to make your intervention na as a caregiver of the patient. So depende yon. There are some na natutulala. They're just blank stares. And then they don't want to eat. Yung general lang na presentation, they become easily irritable. They don't want to take care of their babies, which is very unusual, diba? So those are, makikita mo talaga that she is deviating from her usual behavior. So yun yung makikita ng mga family. But yung the challenging will be if walang kasama yung mother, na siya lang and the husband, and then the husband is working. Diba? So dun yung challenge on how will you be able to detect that patient having postpartum depression. So the presentation differ. So hindi siya pare-pareho on every individual.
And message na lang po, Doc, para sa ating mga mothers na kakapanganak pa lang.
Postnatally, we really encourage the support system of the family, no, to support the mother, no, especially if bagong panganak talaga. It's so tiring, no, for you to wake up every time you feed, no, per demand of the baby. So we really need the support system of the family. The coping will really follow, no, but the depression that you are talking about is it will be negative coping mechanism of the mom, no, for at least for more than 3 months. Then it is very much alarming, and then you really need to go to the nearest healthcare provider, no? So yun yung ating for postpartum depression. It's alarming, especially kung sa generation ngayon, no? The coping mechanism is really well, we can say that their exposure to from compared to other generations is hindi talaga ganon ka well exposed ang ating bagong generation. So yun, yung support system, no, would really help, and early recognition, no, yung poor na ang kanyang hygiene would really is alarming also. Attitude niya towards the feeding baby, no, pati yung will niya ganit to wake up early every day would really make you question, is this normal? Okay, so we have to categorize it for if it really persists for about more than 3 months, then we really need to be supported, no, by a specialist. Okay.
You just have to tell them also, no, if pinapainitan mo si baby sa labas, you have to have sunlight exposure also. Postpartum to, ha. Hindi po ibig sabihin only the baby and then the father magbabanding sila, papainit sa labas. Because that's vitamin D. Vitamin D that will also help you regulate your hormone. So dapat lalabas ka, exposure to sunlight, and then sometimes hormonal yan because there's the decrease now of the progesterone from the body. So they can go to their obstetrician if they're not comfortable with their with the quote-unquote psychiatrist. Ayaw nila, dili ko mo ato din ha kasi basiing nun nga buang ko. 'Di ba? May mga ganong thinking. So you can go to your obstetrician. Your obstetrician can help you deal with it and then kakausapin lang. Yun lang naman. Sometimes they will just look for somebody na gusto nilang kausapin. So they can, if they're comfortable with their OB, they can go back to their OB and then pour their hearts out. Their doctors will be very willing naman yan to listen. Very common kasi ang postpartum depression.
Ayan, thank you so much, Doc Mary and Doc Mau. Doc Mau, dagang pag gusto i-ask, wala na tayo time. Last question po for PhilHealth. Are mental health services po, such as counseling or treatment, included in the current PhilHealth coverage po?
Yes, so I was also excited, since we already touched on the topic of postpartum depression. We have an outpatient mental health benefit package. I will also take this opportunity as a call for accreditation na lang din. We currently have two contracted facilities. One in Mati and the other is CHO Tagum. So we are calling, and one is on the way sa Davao de Oro. No? We are calling our partners to magpa-accredit and magpa-contract for our outpatient mental health benefit package. Para, kasi one part of not seeking mental health management or health is our culture, hindi pa kayo siya accepted. Another is finances. It is quite expensive. So at least with this benefit package, makatabang ni sa ato ang mga mothers, no? Postpartum mothers. And siguro as a closing statement na din, sir, we emphasize the importance of prenatal check-ups, but siguro a big part din kasi ng safe motherhood is planned postpartum, postpartum care, and also it being a planned motherhood, planned pregnancy siya. So we also have several benefit packages for contraceptions. One would be subdermal contraceptive implant, that's 5,500 pesos. IUD natin, 3,900 ang coverage. We also have vasectomy and tubal ligation. So tubal ligation, that is 7,800. So if you're not ready to get pregnant, we have options. And that's a big part. I hope the OBs agree. It's planned motherhood is a big part of having a safe pregnancy and delivery.
Okay, thank you so much, our kapihan, our Healthy Davao Media Forest Stream Live, the PIA Davao Facebook page, and kadangpan, hindi pa busy sa department. Okay, before we let you go, sa teen pregnancy, I would like to ask PhilHealth and our doctors, gano'n ba karami yung teen pregnancy kasi yun din yung parang naging topic dati sa City Health na yung nagpabata, yung mga young mothers. And also sa PhilHealth, paano maka-avail yung mga bata na teen pregnancy, yung mga teen mothers na kasi hindi sila member ng PhilHealth, but right now with the Universal Healthcare, paano pa sila maka-benefit? Start tayo siguro kay Clea na lang. Clea din.
When it comes to PhilHealth naman, the benefit packages generates for all, for every Filipino that would need to avail. Now, when it comes to our teens, no, or yung mga below 19 years old, at we call them emancipated individuals. So, as a rule po kasi, we can still be declared as a dependent of a member up until the age of 20 years old. However, for mothers, no, expectant mothers, yung who are going to avail of the maternity benefits or who are pregnant below the age of 20 years old, you really advise them to register na sila na mismo po yung principal or primary member. The reason being, first, so that they themselves can avail of the package. So maka-avail sila ato ilahang pagpanganak. And the second, their children, no, their newborn, can avail of the benefits of PhilHealth as well. So naman tayo newborn care package, which we give also to our newborns, and other succeeding benefit packages that the child, no, might need, no, once na gipanganak na siya. So, mo na kinahanglan importante kaayo nga aware po si buntis, no, kung unsa pa'y pamaagi nga ma-avail niya yung PhilHealth benefit. And that is first really to secure yung iyahang membership registration sa PhilHealth.
Dr. Mary, may data po tayo sa team pregnancy, sa yung inyo na handle. Sa yung team pregnancy.
For SPMC. For 2024, our data, usually every month, we run like mga around 10 to 12%. But for 2024, our data shows we had a delivery of 1,246 deliveries of teenage mothers. That's roughly 10% of our total deliveries. So the youngest that we had 61 cases, ages 12 to 14 years old.
Kabata.
Yeah.
So that's alarming, nag-increase siya ng gano'n na nagpabata ang yeah, the youngest is 12, yeah. Okay, thank you so much to our guests now, Dr. Naomi Mondial, Dr. Mary Lilim of the SPMC Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, and Dr. Janelli Castillo Macaldo and Clea PhilHealth. Thank you so much. Part 2 will begin with Giving Economy Forum from Caldera, Philippines, Sir Eric Canasas and Manila Caballera World Tourism. Thank you so much to our guests. Thank you so much. Very informative and relevant topic for our from PhilHealth and SPMC. So our next topic, we stream live at the PRO Davao Facebook page and Kadangtan Digital or the Kadangtan Live? Kadangtan Digital and other friends. Thank you so much for sharing your digital platforms para ma-stream. So we are calling out Miles Caballero, the Managing Director of World Travel Expo, and Sir Eric Manalastas, Caldera, he's head of the Caldera Philippines. That is still ICT Davao, okay? Okay, moving economy. Paano na? Pwede lagi sa side siguro. Ipasok na lang. So, what's this giving economy na para mga crowd sourcing ata ito siya na crowdfunding. Then we have Ma'am Miles Caballero. Where's Ma'am Miles? Okay, habang because Ma'am Miles, this is the 8th Giving Economy Forum comes to the Philippines. So Eric, what's this event? And ano po itong Caldera Philippines? Kasi at noon kasi nagkakita tayo ICT Davao that now you're in a different ICT as Caldera, no? Ano itong 8th Giving Economy Forum?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm the president of ICT Davao, but this is outside of ICT Davao, but this is still ICT related. Caldera is a crowdfunding facility designed specially for charities and non-government organizations. And then we have Caldera Foundation, which around the world globally, we are holding Giving Economy Forum. The purpose of the Giving Economy Forum is to recognize mga individuals, NGOs, charities, corporate philanthropies, individual philanthropies, mga volunteers that are creating impact in the society. Yung mga nag-create ng impact in the society. And we recognize them, we give them an award. Yung kanilang impact sa society is based on their how they help fulfill in line kasi ito sa United Nations na Sustainable Development Goals. So that's the purpose of this event. It will be happening this coming May 29 at the Pinnacle Street.
Okay, then another event, Miles, World Travel Expo. Pero ako sa ibang hall siya. So, what's this event all about?
Yes, I'm Miles Caballero, Managing Director of Asia Events Group, OPC. We are the organizer of World Travel Expo, and this is our third year here in Davao for the World Travel Expo Southern Mindanao. So this will happen on May 30, 31, and June 1. So for more details po, you can check our Facebook page and website, World Travel Expo, and then our website naman at asiaevents.com. So this will be this weekend na po. So this is about travel, no? So yung mga packages, deals natin, lowest package in availing your travel. Nandito po lahat, especially mga hotels and resorts natin here in Davao and also some parts of the Philippines.
How many exhibitors will be expecting sa...
Yes, we have 26 exhibitors sponsored.
Ano lang yung required?
We have around 26 exhibitors to be exact. Composed of sponsors and exhibitors and also mga partners natin.
Okay, thank you to Sir Eric. Itong event natin sa Pinnacle, what will be expecting dito sa event?
Okay, other than talks about the giving economy and the social economy and charitable institutions, we will be recognizing certain individuals. We will be giving them an award. Again, related doon sa kanilang impact to the society in line with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, in 17 na goals. So we are awarding 17 to 18 individuals in this event. We have awardees coming all the way from Luzon, merong taga Visayas, and the rest are from Mindanao, and the rest are from Davao also. So we'll be recognizing them and giving them an award on that event.
Itong 8th Giving Economy Forum is a national event, not just sa parang Davao City, but we also have participants coming from all over the world, no? Or
yes, for the Philippines, because this is the first time that it will be done in the Philippines. This is the 8th, no? The first 7 were done outside of the country, in Singapore, India, Kuala Lumpur in 2024. In fact, last April, there was one in Hyderabad in India. First time in the Philippines. And since I'm from Davao, I really pushed, we'll do it here in Davao. But this event right now in May 29 will be nationwide, so we have awardees from all over the country.
Itong, sabi niyo, isang ICT also yung itong endeavor itong sa Caldera. How does ICT provide yung capability sa itong mga sa giving economy?
Yes, Caldera kasi is providing a crowdfunding platform for specifically for charities and non-government organizations. Most of our charities, most of our NGOs, non-profit organizations, the challenge for them is always to raise funds. They're having problems with raising funds. So we advise them on how to do it. In fact, after the event, magkakaroon kami ng seminar or training on digital fundraising. How we help this charity or NGOs plan their marketing campaign, plan their fundraising campaign para ma-engage yung kanilang mga donors, not only at one time, not only in the Philippines, but around the world, continuous engagement, and then they will be able to get their projects funded. And this is not only for charities and NGOs, actually for anybody that wants to raise funds, no? But hopefully, we prefer yung mga NGOs, mga faith-based organizations.
Kasi ang kuha niyo yung Send Gcash. Yung mga kanya yan, no? Para sa inyo, it's a platform, ano talagang...
It's a platform, yeah, they can still send through Gcash to the platform, but it's a platform that really engages, there's a proper way of raising funds, no? Parang ano yan parang corporate communication.
Yung GoFundMe, di ba meron din na?
Parang GoFundMe, kailang GoFundMe, kahit ano lang kasi yan, this one is designed specifically for charity and NGOs.
Now we go to World Travel Expo. Ma'am, Buao Davao is fast approaching. Meron ba tayong promo packages for Davao, considering that yung mga tourism stakeholders sa Davao would want maraming turista din darating dito sa city?
Yes, sir. As low as 50% and it could go down pa. That would depend dun sa, kasi we have travel agencies. So, local and outbound tayo. Inbound and outbound yung mangyayari. So, mga travel agencies, they will do ticketing na rin for if we want to go outside the country.
Yung 50%, sa ticket lang, travel ticket, meron siyang like
package po yun. So, normally, depende rin kasi nag-range yan sa mga airline. Minsan, biglang babagsak yung offer ng airline. So, naka-package na po yun. Airline together with your hotel. Pero mas maganda po talaga if you avail, instead of do it yourself or DIY, better to plan and get a package para when you go outside the country, nakaplan yung travel mo.
Nakirate na ng mga travel agents.
Yes po. And then yun nga, may hotel ka na, and then may tour ka pa. So minsan maraming add-ons kapag nag-tour ka
Pero kasi may nabasa sa Facebook na we're trying to attract tourists in the country, pero ang mahal siya compared when you go to other places na mahal yung like sa Davao, mahal yung ticket compared kasi presyo siya like you go to Thailand or you're going to Vietnam. Ano yung ating answer doon?
Yun nga sir, depende. Minsan kasi may season na bumababa siya. So talagang normally yung individual, kailangan nilang mag-check ng flights. Minsan hindi natin ma-control. So normally yung mga travel agencies, since sila bulk kasi binibigay sa kanila ng mga airline yung travel, meron silang mismong mga direct promos na ino-offer.
I'll start kay Sir. So Eric, since this is the first forum to be held in the Philippines, anong ma-offer niya? And then since it's the 8th, anong kaibahan niya from the previous forums po?
Because this is the 8th, this is the first time in the Philippines. Parang the same lang ito sa previous forums in the other countries. It's just that it was done in other countries. This time this is in the Philippines. What we do here, we discuss about the giving economy, about the work of the charitable institutions. We encourage them to share their challenges in their work and hopefully forge together a community that will be able to create more impact, positive impact for the society. So that's what we are trying to do. Yung ating giving economy forum also allows for allows a platform for our mga change makers natin in the society to come together. The idea is to there will be abundance in giving first, without asking for something in return. So yun ang ating ginagawa.
Sir, out of all the cities in the Philippines, bakit Davao, sir? Why Davao City?
Siyempre may bias kasi I'm from Davao, for that matter. We decided to have it in Davao because, there's a lot of NGOs, that are working. There's a lot of NGOs and charities that are working that we know that are in Mindanao kasi. And Davao being the center, and we would like to do that. In fact, the original plan was just to provide to give recognition or awards to organizations within Davao or Mindanao lang sana muna, no? But then we have received nominations from the rest of the country. So we also acknowledge them, and in fact, we have people that will be flying from other parts of the country to receive the awards.
So, anong mga SDG goals of UN ang ma-apply o ma-discuss doon sa forum?
Siguro among those sa mga na-recognize lang natin na mga related sa SDG will be yung health, good health and well-being, reduction of poverty, no equality, education, volunteerism, innovation and infrastructure. Then others are the number 17, yung partnership with the goals. So yan yung karamihan ng mga na-recognize natin. We hope that we can give one for each, pero it just happened na may mga ibang awardee na the same yung kanilang SDG alignment.
Yung SDGs na appropriate dito sa kanila.
Yes, yung award nila kasi based dun sa kanilang ginagawa and ano ang SDG alignment nila. Yun yung mga katatanggap nila po.
Sir, last question na lang. If I may ask, sir, does the giving economy have plans to host another forum here in the Philippines?
Yes, we plan to kasi ang nangyari, nag-nomination tayo. Siyempre, magko-close yung nomination, mag-decide yung jury. And then, I think somebody posted na nakatanggap sila ng award in Facebook. So marami na humabol ng nomination. So we just told them that there will be another one that will be happening in the Philippines. We are not sure if it's going to happen in Davao again, but it will be done in the Philippines because we anticipate that there will be more that will be nominated in the upcoming award. So we plan to do this, if not every year, at least every 2 years in the country. Yeah.
Thank you. Then kay Ma'am Miles. Ma'am, sa 26 exhibitors, sino po sila, ma'am, if I may ask lang? Who are these companies or travel agencies ba, no?
Yes, for the travel agencies, we have Borderline Travel and Tours. Dito sila based. Also, Aris Travel and Tours, Big Star Travel. They will be offering educational visa as well, aside from the travel. And then, I think yung tatlong travel agencies na yon. And then sa hotels, we have Waterfront, we have Park Inn, we have Apple View, aside from Waterfront. Soto Grande will also be there. So, medyo marami. Tapos yung outside Davao, Las Casas Filipinas de Acosar, they're from Bataan. They will also be showcasing here. I think ang Hotel Sogo kasi they want to be part ng travel. And then Pearl Farm pala from here din. Pearl Farm, also Dusit. So ito yung mga hotels and resorts natin na ma-showcase. And also we have from other country, that's Anantara Vacation Club. I think they will be offering parang good for 4, parang 11,500 lang. So that would depend. Yung iba rin kung meron kang credit card na i-offer. So pwedeng 11,500 lang, good for 4 persons na yon, 4 days, 3 nights. So yun ang kanilang package na i-offer during event. And also sa GCash, since GCash is our sponsor, they will be offering, instead na you apply for the 250 na card, you'll get it at 200 na lang during event.
To clarify lang, ma'am, 26 exhibitors from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
Yes. Pero mostly dito yon, based sa Southern Mindanao. And then yung mga hotels and resorts natin na based dito.
Sige po.
Yon.
Sa 26, ma'am, in its third year, no? Is this larger than the previous?
Yes. Kasi nung previous years namin, mauna kami, mga 16 lang. And then 18, ngayon 26 na. 26 lang din ang kayang i-accommodate ng activity center. Wala na silang maibigay. Although, marami pa rin gustong mag-join. So, nakita namin yung talaga ng Davao na, lumalaki yung travel and tourism dito.
So, sa 26, ma'am, anong ma-offering nila na unique deals or exclusives na wala nila na para nabigay from the previous expo?
Oo. Actually, ang J-Park pala will also be joining, no? Meron silang, once you book with them, they will offer parang free pick-up from the airport. So, how about, based ka sa Davao and you want to explore Cebu, tapos mag-check-in ka kay J-Park or mag-avail ka ng packages nila, merong free pick-up from the airport. So it's either Alona, kasi they will also be offering yung Hotel Alona nila in Bohol. So yun, meron silang free pick-up service. So once you avail dito. And then yung ibang mga as low as yun nga, they will give 40 to 50% off. For example, isang hotel dito, nag-offer sila like sino ba? Si Soto Grande. Medyo expensive yung kanilang package, pero dito magbababa sila. So, mga 30 to 40%. Yun
Last question, ma'am. Since it's mostly from Southern Mindanao, no? So this would boost Davao City's tourism po?
Yes, of course. So, yun ang ginagawa namin. And we are thankful for kay Sir Rudolph and lahat ng media dito because they're giving us opportunity. This is our first time na magkaroon ng ganitong media exposure. Aside from that, we're having our third year na rin doing press conferences. At least meron kaming avenue na ganito na platform.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir Eric, yung home sa world, how much, ano ba estimate natin yung giving economy? Yung giving economy, yung mga donor, yung mga gano'n na, ano ba yan?
How much?
How much?
I could not take the figure, pero actually malaki yung giving economy because a lot of our big organizations, mga corporate philanthropies, no, as part of their CSR, they give to the community, they give back to the community.
Tax deductible.
In the US, tax deductible. Even though Philippines tax deductible naman ito. Ang challenge lang palagi is because, yung number one, yung responsible handling of funds, and then our donors don't really know kung kanino nila ibibigay yung funds nila, they want to give, they don't share. And most of the NGOs and charities at the moment, they don't really know how to properly implement a program, especially on the digital fundraising. In fact, kaya kami mag-i-implement ng training, certified training for online digital fundraisers, kasi wala tayong mga certified people for that, para alam nila yung discipline on how to do this properly.
Kasi yung sa Facebook, yung mga pet shelters, yun sila yung parati mabasa ko na nag-fundraising para sa kanila fundraising, yung mga shelters.
Yeah, you will be surprised there are more, no? There are actually more. A lot of people, we were surprised when we received the nominations, the kind of work, volunteerism work, and causes that they are supporting, that they are funding, they are doing. Challenge lang talaga nila is funding.
It's also, kasama ba dito yung government, yung support ng government sa mga volunteerism?
We will be recognizing some from the government because of what they are doing in their work in the government. We might not be able to handle funds that will be given to the government or get funds from the government kasi may regulations kasi yan. May COA, may mga ganon, may mga handling. But mga organizations, charitable organizations that are supported by the government, we will be happy to have them. Yeah.
Okay, may mga si Carlo Doyer at Kadangpan, Mr. Kadangpan.
Carlo, and before Marlon, anyway, good afternoon na po to our distinguished guests at this juncture because lagpas alas 12 na ng tanghali because most of the media are having their lunch now. Pero I will go straight up to Ma'am Miles in terms of yung sa travel. We cannot predict, sabihin na lang natin, we cannot predict yung mga number of tourist arrivals. But how complacent naman po for those interested na vacation, regardless whether they are going for checking in sa just to celebrate the festivities or just para sabihin na lang natin para maganahan sila sa vibe po.
Ayun nga sir, our expo, yun nga, we promote these companies para during event, doon sila nagbabagsak ng price depending on the schedule. So, dito lang sila magbibigay ng special deals. So, right after this, they won't give it anymore. For example, 10,000 yung check-in mo sa isang hotel. Pero dito ibababa nila as low as 5,000 on overnight. So dito lang nila maa-avail yon sa Expo. So yun yung ang pwedeng convincing para more locals natin and also from other parts ng Southern Mindanao will go to this Expo just to avail of that package.
Last on my end, Ma'am Miles, in terms of, let's just say, yung mga travel agents natin, and of course, medyo skeptical din yung sa iba dahil kadalasan po is through online booking. But however, there are some dubious discounts na lumalabas sa social media and sa online. But the piece of advice na lang po dun sa mga willing na maghahanap sila ng murang accommodation or rather yung sa travel from Davao to somewhere else po.
Oh, yun nga, sir. Because we are endorsed by the Department of Tourism, we encourage all these travel agencies na if ever they will join this expo, talagang mas maganda ang face-to-face compared dun sa online ka. Kaya mas maganda yung mga visitors coming here because mas maganda kausap mo talaga personally yung mga may-ari na travel agency para alam mo hindi tatakbo na these companies are not scammers. Kasi normally nga nauso yung nagsascam online. Sinasabi ganito kababa yung package pero hindi. So at least dito they can give you official receipts, face-to-face kayo mag-uusap, maganda yung travel package na ma-offer sa'yo. And they will not ask you for talaga. Nasa reservation. Magbibigay ka lang ng reservation. No need for a full package. Meron by installment lang. They offer that also.
Okay, in connections with that questions, ma'am. We have friends, media friends from Davao del Sur was scam. Kasi nagbayad sa online. Paano natin ma-police itong mga scammers?
Yun nga, sir, yung mga kasali sa amin accredited ni DOT. Yung mga nagjo-join sa amin. So, hindi po namin ina-accept yung mga hindi accredited. Kasi, yun po yung ina-encourage namin din sa mga each and everyone na pupunta din sa expo.
Kasi enticing yung nila yung package.
Oh, yun, sir. Talagang we encourage na yung mga pupunta dito, talagang itong mga companies na nakasali sa amin is legit. So, yun nga, kami naman, we have our own Facebook page, pinopromote namin each exhibitor. Kasi we don't accept po na hindi accredited ng Department of Tourism. Kasi yung hindi nga po accredited, yun po yung nang i-scam. Kasi normal, inaano nila, parang marami na silang followers sa Facebook page. Pero hindi pala. So, nasa individual na yan. Kasi every now and then nagre-remind ang DOT natin na tingnan nyo mabuti yung mga travel agencies na nilalapitan nyo. Kasi normally yan, talagang marami na po talagang scammers. Pagkabayad mo, nawawala na sila sa Facebook page. Pero titingnan mo muna yung credibility nila. Are they part of any association? Kahit dito sa Davao, meron association, yes, I think, DATA at saka DTAA. Yeah. Tapos yun nga, titingnan yung list ng Department of Tourism, sino yung mga accredited na travel agencies. Yun po, sure po yun na hindi mag-i-scam kasi they're paying their dues also sa DOT. Yun po.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir Eric, sir. Very yung maganda ang program sa inyong yung giving economy. Before din yung nabuhat ni sir, unsay inyong what encourage you to do this, sir? Kasi maganda parang alam ko nasa IT sector kasi ang problema ngayon sa mga NGOs, especially sa mga people's organizations na nagtakatabang is wala din sila i-conserve like platform na ilang ginahimo. Then, personal lang, usahay sa mga friends, but through this, sir, paano mo ito na conceptualize yung... Is this an app or what?
It's a combination. It's a combination of a crowdfunding platform. At the same time, it's more of training yung ating mga NGOs. Most of the NGOs, among others, kulang ng budget. So kulang sila ng time to really put together a good plan on to how to handle the proper fundraising program and pati yung pag-engage ng kanilang donors and yung kanilang reporting, no? Kasi, di ba, kasi importante yan, like, nag-promote ka, nag-raise ka ng funds, ano nangyari pagkatapos? Correct. And then how do you continually engage them? So that's the kind of platform that we have, program that we are providing for the charities and the NGOs na para mag-continue sa kanilang operation, ma-sustain yung kanilang multiple projects, mag-continue kanilang support or contribution to the community, we help them craft a good program. Iti-try namin sila on the proper way of doing digital fundraising. And to be able to do that, they will need also a platform for them to use, no? So meron kaming crowdfunding platform na Crowdera, ang tawag, and they can use it for free. Kasi ang challenge na, mahal eh, di ba? Wow, they can use it for free. So we allow that. That's part of the efforts being done by the Crowdera Foundation.
Crowdera Foundation. So yun ang magiging platform nila. Doon papasok yung sabi nila transparency. Makikita yung galaw ng isang NGO.
Yes.
Na hindi gaya ng kanila, yung fly-by-night na bahay lang sa sinugdanan pag mawala.
Yes. Kaya we train them how to properly do it. And it comes down to proper communication. Pag-promote mo, and then pag-engage mo, and then critical dyan will be the reporting for continuous engagement.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Since time is run out, we would like to thank our guest, Ma'am Miles Caballero of World Travel Expo and Sir Eric Manalastas of Giving Economy Forum. Participate statement. Again, we invite natin sa ating this coming events. Sir Eric?
Yeah, our event kasi is by invitation. So if you would like to be invited like for the press to join, please approach me and Julia so that we can include in our guest list. No?
Sino yung mga big, or yung mga
awardees.
Awardees na...
we will not announce it kasi prior, but then you will be finding out about them after, no? Magkakaroon kasi you can see from our page. Although may mga nag-announce na nakatanggap sila, pero generally we don't announce it.
Sino yung matanggap nila with that award?
There will be a trophy, a certification, a recognition, as part of the recognition for them. They will be allowed to speak. And we will allow them to talk together, magkaroon ng parang summit among these change makers to really discuss like what do we do together to make a better community. Yeah.
Miles?
Yes, I would like to invite again everyone to attend the World Travel Expo and visit this coming May 30, 31, and June 1. So, for more details po, nasa Facebook page po namin, worldtravelexpo.ph, and yun aming pong website at asiaevents.com.
Okay, thank you so much to SM City Davao for hosting Healthy Davao Video Forum and Kapihan sa Davao, and also to for the delicious donuts and coffee. Like also to thank Kadangpan for sharing live na sa aming Kapihan. Thank you so much. We'll let you know. Alam ang Kapihan sa